Hey folks, Real Lost with Jarmethlin. I'm Jarmethlin. This is a 10-year reflection on the September 10, 2007 edition of Raw, which if you guys have been watching Raw for a while, you know why I'm doing this one. It's the one where Vince finds out who his illegitimate son is. It wasn't Mr. Candy, because Mr. Candy got popped for, using illegal substances and getting them from a clinic right after the whole Benoit tragedy had happened. He wasn't the only one, obviously. There were plenty of others. But it just wasn't the best move because the whole thing with Mr. Candy could have really worked, and it's a real shame that it didn't. But basically with the show, kicks off with Vince and Coach coming out. William Regal had been beat up by John Cena last week after Randy Orton had been banned from the arena. So Coach was like the acting Raw GM. Good job on Coach for doing stuff with ESPN. He seems to be doing better with his career outside of WWE. There were so many signs in the crowd, and Vince opens up, instead of saying WWE's as WWO superstar. Good job. Good job, Vince. I mean, everybody's allowed to slip up on live TV, but good lord. Hyped up the whole illegitimate son angle. Slams Mr. Candy because they were in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing against Green Bay, but that's where Mr. Candy hailed from. So, basically, he verbally slammed him for his wellness violation, and then various stars like the Great Khali come out, and Khali was a world champion at this time. I forgot that he actually had the championship that long, even though he only had a couple months. It was so goddamn embarrassing. He just couldn't do anything. And he talked, and he said great McMahon. That's about all I understood. Because Khali's English just isn't that good. I mean, it didn't really get much better. And his voice is so deep, and his Easter Island face won't allow him to really say the words properly. He's a terrifying individual. Khali comes out. Could he be the illegitimate son? No, then JBL comes out. And could be the illegitimate son. That would have made almost a little bit more sense if they had gone with JBL. Instead, they decided to go the comedy route, obviously, as you find out by the end. Then Jeff Hardy, of course, comes out. I know who my father is. But the thing is, so many people have been sending me messages, and Jeff cannot cut a promo still, or at least couldn't at this time. Whenever I hit a swanton or jump off a 20-foot ladder, everybody's looking up. He took the RVD, School of Promos. Whatever. He just took lessons, I guess, at the RVD School of Promos. It was fine. It was a fine opening segment. It was long, though. It was nearly 15 minutes, and this is when Raw was only 2 hours. So they had quite a bit to hype, and this is a go-home show for Unforgiven 2007, which I don't think I'm going to do a 10-year reflection on, even though it wasn't a bad show by any stretch of the imagination. It was a B-level pay-per-view. But then you had Paul London versus Lance Cade. Lance Cade, the man died before he was 30, and it was just sad. I know he had addictions, and I believe had heart failure. That I believe that's what killed him. It's just really sad that before 30, I mean, he was 29. I actually think I saw his last match on WWE TV. It was a match he had against Shawn Michaels, like a short street fight. And after that, I think he was on house shows and then was released very soon after and was on the indies and then unfortunately died. During this match was hyped because Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch were the tag team champions again because they had actually lost the tag titles to London and Kendrick on a house show circuit in South Africa. They won the titles and then 3 days later lost back to Cade and Murdoch. So that was fine, and that's a way to spice up the house show circuit. It was really quick, and Murdoch tried to interfere. Referee, went over to him. No, you can't interfere. Kendrick runs in, hits sliced bread number 2. Somehow doesn't. Somehow the ref isn't aware of this, and then London hits a jumping. Hits a big standing reverse moonsault or whatever. Standing 450 or something like that. Whatever you really want to call it. I mean, London Bridge was falling down at that point. I'm amazed that London was still part of the company because he had done the whole smile thing, during the McMahon limo explosion angle. And I'm not faulting London. He probably didn't know what the whole angle was about, but it's just, that didn't help him very much. I just certainly don't blame London. I mean, he seems to be doing fine outside of WWE, and I'm very happy for him. But this was a short match. It was quick, and it was a nice way to hype up the tag match between London and Kendrick and Cade and Murdoch just a little bit later at Unforgiven. Then the highlights of the Orton Cena feud, basic, and it was hyping their match for Unforgiven. And then WWE had been running a poll at this time about who could be Vince's illegitimate son, and the guy in second place was brought in. And it was Stevie Richards. Poor Stevie Richards. Good, solid talent, good worker, and Vince just laughed at him. It was sad. Of course, Triple H was revealed to be the one that was number one being voted for because fans are dicks and want incest to happen because Vince has poisoned their minds. I miss Carlito on WWE TV. Like, really. The guy was cool. The guy was so cool. I mean, he still is, I'm sure, but it's just, his character on TV was just so cool. And I enjoy watching him in the ring. I enjoyed his promos. I really miss Carlito on TV. He got to pick Triple H's opponent tonight because they were going to have a match at Unforgiven. Triple H and Carlito, that is. And it ended up being Shelton Benjamin. And it was a squash. Shelton got a few moves in, and that was about it. Triple H beat him easily. Carlito tried interfering, got chased off with a chair. Then Coach had a stipulation to the Carlito Triple H match that it's no DQ for Carlito, but not for Triple H. That Carlito could do anything, Triple H couldn't. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, Triple H beat Carlito, even with all those advantages. Because Carlito they just couldn't push Carlito. They just couldn't do it. Orton was just hyping his match with Cena. Security had been around the arena, and Cena had been banned from the arena, so of course Cena appears. Crowd starts, cheering, even though Orton's doing his promo. He's not deaf and selling the thing, and so they just get him back. He was a little more focused here as the heel Orton. Cena showed up, and of course they ended up getting in a bit of a fight. Cena and Vince had a bit of a verbal spat backstage. Cena said that he's just going to kick Orton's ass, essentially. And then you had Mickie James versus Jillian Hall. Mickie James wins easily. Candice Michelle on commentary to hype the whole match that she had with Beth Phoenix. I mean, I felt bad for Beth having to sell for Candice. Candice worked hard and got better. I will give her that. She wasn't very good in the ring, but she wasn't bad in the ring. But Beth having to do that was ridiculous. And it was really bad use of Mickie James. Just a quick match used as a backdrop for this. It was pretty ridiculous. Beth having to sell for Candice is just ridiculous. Then you had Santino versus Sandman. It was crap. Anytime you take weapons out of Sandman wasn't even good with the weapons. He botched a lot. He just threw shit around the ring. A ladder ended up going into the crowd at Barely Legal 97 because Sandman slingshot it, but overdid it. Didn't bother to control the ladder at all. And even at one point, during a simple spot where he's supposed to run into the turnbuckles, when Santino moves, he doesn't do that right and jams his ankle. Sandman does. Just because he couldn't fucking wrestle. Sandman was sick. I'm not saying I could wrestle. I've never claimed that I can wrestle, but just Sandman was garbage. And the fact that Sandman even had a lengthy career in wrestling, this is nothing against people that are fans of the Sandman. That's great. If you're fans of the Sandman's work, okay, cool. I don't get it, but that's fine. But my God, he was just such shit. He just couldn't do anything. And it was bad. It was just a bad match. It was just really, really bad. Sandman tried to do a dive to the outside and it was crap. And of course Santino using the cane, it was such crap. You did have Maria backstage when Santino and Maria were an item. And Santino beats the crap out of Ron Simmons backstage, who was with Maria. It was a way to basically keep Santino as being a heel, which he was a better heel than he was a babyface. Even though the babyface probably earned him more money, he was better as a heel. The Diva Search. The only good part about this is that Eve Torres won it, and Eve Torres actually turned into a pretty good worker. The Diva Search, for the most part, was crap. It produced some women, Maria and others, that did well in the company and other companies. But by and large, the Diva Search was crap. It did bring us Layla. That was good. First one brought us Christy Hemme. Hey, at least she got good paychecks out of it and seems to be doing fine with her life now. Yeah, but I hated the Diva Search. I hated it. I don't care if they were beautiful women. I didn't care. And then Khali versus Jeff Hardy was crap. Khali can't do anything. Khali couldn't do anything back then. This was a decade ago, and he couldn't do anything in the ring. Except the vice grip. And it felt like he was vice gripping everybody's brain. It was bad. And then, of course, Batista comes out. Oh, by the way, Khali pinned Jeff Hardy with 1 foot. Because they were still doing that shit. It was just so embarrassing. It was just so embarrassing. It just... And then, of course, they were going to have a triple threat. It was Batista, Khali, and Kane at Unforgiven. And so then Batista came out and spears Khali. And, I mean, Batista, to his credit, threw his body into him. But Khali just can't sell anything at all. I mean, it was really, really bad. Like, it was really bad. It was... Ugh. It was crap. And then we go to the illegitimate son revelation. There's so many stars around the ring. People that were not already ruled out as being Vince's son. Bunch of questions and everything. The instant, and I remember watching this when I was 26 at the time. I remember watching this with my at the time best friend. Thankfully, he's no longer in my life. Piece of crap. Move on. Former best friend. My current best friends. Awesome people. But it was such crap. But it was like train wreck crap. But all the questions when the lawyer, the attorney guy for the woman who had Vince's illegitimate son, when he said the second one, your son, likes gold or has an affinity for gold or something like that. The instant he said that, I said to, the people watching, I go, it's going to be Hornswoggle. My friend's like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's going to be Hornswoggle. Turned out to be Hornswoggle. Triple H was in the ring, of course, because he was revealed to be the last one, the last question. It's time, your son loves to play the game. And Triple H is like, I don't like this any more than you. And then it was revealed to be Hornswoggle, and Triple H started laughing. That part was pretty funny, but I have nothing against Hornswoggle as a person. Nothing at all. I don't know the guy. I don't know any of these wrestlers, personally. This was such crap. They might as well have gone the comedy route with the whole damn thing. I mean, even though Mr. Kennedy would have been a better choice, he decided to get, wellnessed. So they had to go this route. It was pretty damn ridiculous. I mean, the whole illegitimate son thing. And it was dropped, I think right after, I think it was dropped by Mania. Because Finlay was revealed to actually be Vince's father, which was silly anyway. And it was just bad. It was just really, really awful. It was just awful. But still, it was fun to reflect on this show and watch it and, enjoy the stuff. So I will also be doing a 15-year reflection on the September 12th, 2002 edition of SmackDown. And if you have followed SmackDown for years, you'll know why. The Billy and Chuck commitment ceremony, one of my favorite moments. For obvious reasons. Mainly the revelation of a certain person that, snuck into the wedding. Anyway, so that's what I gotta say about this 10-year reflection of Raw. What do you think? What do you guys think of the, Vince McMahon illegitimate son angle? Do you think it would have worked better with Mr. Kennedy? Do you think it was actually better than I said when I said it was crap, the stuff with Hornswoggle? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.